Revenge is like a poison. It can take us over, and before you know it, it can turn us into something ugly. Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Hasbro Marvel Legends Spider-Man Retro line Symbiote Spider-Man. Stay tuned. So taking a look at the figure in its packaging, same packaging we've all come to expect, the retro Spider-Man style, Symbiote Spider-Man with a picture of the character on the front here, then symbiote suit, costume, symbiote, and all these different languages here. A nice viewing image of the figure with all of its accessories inside, Hasbro. Then on the back we have a description which you can pause if you want to read. Also, an image of the figure showing where its interchangeable hands go. Sorry guys, I can't talk today. And then a continuation of the retro Spider-Man style cover. Really like this packaging. Also, you do have pictures of all the other figures to collect in the wave. I have the Shocker, and now, obviously, the Black Suit. I've still got these four to get. Whether I will get them, I haven't yet decided. So, without any further ado, guys, let's get on to the figure itself. So this video was originally intended to just be a review of the Symbiote Spider-Man, but then I realised I never really got round to reviewing the Peter Parker Spider-Man, so I thought, why not kill two birds with one stone and make this a double review? Now, I am going to be focusing primarily on this guy right here, but I thought we'd just take a look very quickly at the Peter Parker Spider-Man. So, everyone knows it, everyone agrees, this is probably the best Spider-Man figure that has ever been made in this line. The articulation is absolutely incredible. So, we'll just do a quick, there we go. We'll just do a quick rundown of it very quickly. So, the head can do a full 360. Look forward really far and up really far, although it does reveal a gap in the joint. You have butterfly joints at each of the arms, so they can go right the way back. You can bring the arms roughly out to 90 degrees, but not fully because it is hindered. There's a full rotation at the bicep, a double joint at the elbow, but this once again can't really go too far because of the shape of the muscles. A full rotation at the hand, and also, just get it to focus, and also upwards and down. There is an ab crunch joint, so you can lean forward, lean back, do a full rotation, and also from side to side. There is also a forward hinge, so you can bring him right the way forward and back right the way, as Spider-Man does do. He does the backward flips. And then the legs are extendable, so you can pop them down or keep them up. There's a rotation at the thigh, a really nice double bend at the knee, so you can bring his legs right the way back. There is a rotation at the top of the boot. And then lastly, forward and back motion on the foot, as well as a full side-to-side motion. So, everyone knows it. The articulation on this figure is absolutely amazing, and what's even more incredible is the detail. Now, I've just realised I don't have it with me, which is a huge pain in the arse, but he does come with a swappable head, where the eyes are basically smaller, like they're more squintier. I think it's to represent the two different artists that drew him. I personally prefer this look because it looks more like a natural Spider-Man to me. And you can see you've got the spider logo very nicely, neatly painted on the eyes. Very amazing job with the webbing and how they've made it so seamless throughout the whole costume. And then you've got the red spider logo at the back. Sadly, you do have that annoying number printed, but it's at the back, so that's fine. And yeah, the blue's really nice. Everything is just really nice and neat. And he does also come with two interchangeable hands with his web shooting hands. And then to add those, very simple, you just pop that off and pop it on. Nice and easy. Very, very awesome. So yeah, amazing figure, amazing paint, and amazing articulation. So that should give you a rough idea of what we're going to look at next, which is the Symbiote Spider-Man, the main guy for this review. So everything I've just shown you with the articulation is exactly the same, because this is the same figure. It uses the same body. Some people have theorized it's actually slightly different. Not from what I can see, it is the same, although it's weird, and I'm not sure if it's the paint that's doing this, but this guy does come across as slightly bigger. He does, I'm not sure if it's just my figure, but he does come across as slightly more, I don't know, hench, like his chest is bigger or something, but like I said, that could simply be down to the paint, and it could just be the way my eyes are picking it up. So, speaking of paint, this guy looks absolutely amazing. Like, you know, they really have captured that Venom-esque look of the character. You've got the awesome new spider logo, which is very much like Venom's, goes right the way around to the back. As you can see, it has been added on the butterfly joints, but sadly you can't really get it exactly as it's supposed to be. But I suppose there wasn't really much of a way around that, so I still think they've done a reasonable job with making it seem seamless. Yeah, articulation is exactly the same as I said, and then you just have this really gorgeous matte black that just covers the whole thing. And it really does. One thing I will say is the details of the sculpt really are highlighted with this paint job. Like, details that you didn't see on this figure show up quite easily with this one. Like all the different muscles and the creases and everything. I think it's simply because of that more simpler paint. It just highlights the details all that more. Now, obviously, the most noticeable difference is, of course, the head. The head is an entirely new sculpt. It's not using the same sculpt at all, which I really like. I did honestly think they would just reuse this but paint it black, but they haven't. They've given him much more pointier eyes, as he does when he has Venom on him. Yeah, very, very cool. But one of the nicest things about this figure is he doesn't just come with the two web shooting hands, but he also comes with these crawling hands. Now, this is something that a lot of people complained didn't come with this figure, and I agree. So it's really, really nice to see that they've given him to this one. So exactly the same. Just pop the hands off very easily. Clip those on. And then you have this very awesome crawling Spider-Man. I just think it looks very, very cool. And on the back of each hand, you do have this white rectangle, which I never really understood. Is this where his webs are supposed to come from when he's Venom? I've never understood that, and personally, I kind of wish it wasn't there. I just prefer him completely black, but, you know, that's just me. It's like, you know, we don't have Sam Raimi figures yet in this updated line, but I'm hoping that we do get them one day. But for now, this is the closest I'll get to, you know, that character. And I personally really like Spider-Man 3. You know, I know that's a controversial opinion, but, you know, it is what it is. I just happen to really, really like it. So having these two figures back to back on the shelf just looks absolutely amazing, and I'm really hoping that they do give us another Venom from this line, not just the one that had the red and blue on it. I thought that was a bit too darish for me, and plus I didn't grow up with the Spider-Man animated series from the 90s. Sadly, that was a bit before my time. I only just caught the 90s by 6 months, so hey, I am a 20th century kid technically. only by 6 months, but there you go. So, yeah, as I said, if you guys have seen reviews of this figure, you pretty much know everything to expect with this guy. He has just been done in that gorgeous matte black with the new head. Something that I think maybe would have been nice is if they had given us a Peter Parker head sculpt, but with a much more angry and more, sinister look on his face. Like, I'm not saying full emo, I just mean like maybe like a really kind of stern, like I'm gonna kick the crap out of you look. I just think that really would have added to this figure. So, I imagine you can swap these two heads around if for whatever reason you'd want to do that. So, yeah, overall, I really, really like this guy. Even though he is just a repaint of a figure that I already have, I do really love the inclusion of the new hands, and I think the only thing that maybe could have made this slightly better is if they'd have included some black webbing to go from him. I think that would have been nice. But for what he is and the price you're paying, you're getting all of the amazing articulation that you get with this guy. One thing I will say about this, guys, is this hasn't happened to me yet, but when you are articulating him, especially around the areas where the logo is, just be careful, because you don't want to rub it and scratch the white paint off, because it will be very noticeable. So yeah, when you're articulating him here, just be careful with that. It's actually very good. I don't feel it rubbing at all. It's actually quite seamless, but yeah, just something to be wary about. So I'd like to thank you all for watching this review. Overall, I'm going to give the Symbiote Spider-Man a solid, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. I think it's definitely the best figure in the wave that has come out so far. I do also have the Shocker from this wave, but I think this figure just has something really special about it. I love the inclusion of the new hands, and I think although it is simply just a repaint, that's all it has to be, and it's really nice that they've given us a brand new head sculpt. I think it works very, very well, and if you guys haven't got this figure yet, I would highly recommend that you go out and get it. So I'd like to thank you guys for watching this review. Stay safe and happy wherever you are in the world, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.